dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. Then I was young and unafraid, and dreams we made and used and wasted. There was no ransom to be paid, no song unsung, no wine untasted. But the tide has come at night, with their voices soft as thunder, and they tear your hope apart as they turn your dream to shame. He slept a summer by my side. He filled my days with endless wonder. He took my childhood in his stride, but he was gone when autumn came. And still I dreamed he'd come to me, that we would live the years together. But there are dreams that cannot be, and there are storms we cannot weather. I had a dream my life would be so different from this hell I'm living, so different now from what it seemed. Now life has killed the dream I dreamed.
Very nice. Thank you, Debbie. So that's not a typical song that you would hear here at Unity, but it fits really nicely in with Dennis's talk today. So the next song, I'm going to ask if you would like to join us in singing. It's called Open Your Heart. And if you could stand and we'll join together.
Heaven is open to you. Find a way to open your heart. You're so much more than you do. Find a way God's instrument always. You are enough always. Heaven is waiting right here. Always, you are God's instrument always. You are enough always. Heaven is waiting right here. Heaven is waiting right here.
Thank you.
That was so pretty. Thanks. Good morning.
Good morning.
Trivia for the day. What happened 104 years ago on August 18th? Yes, the women's right to vote was signed off. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I just think that's kind of interesting that what happens on an amendment to the Constitution, the House has to sign off on it, the Senate has to sign off on it, the President has to sign off on it, and then, according to the Constitution, then 3/4 of the states then have to sign off on it. It didn't take too long, and Tennessee was the actual 36th state that made it law. I just find that intriguing because, I mean, in keeping with today's talk, can you just imagine for so long deciding that a certain segment of our population wasn't really worthy to vote? How silly. But as I was researching it, I found out something that I found interesting, and that was that in 1790, New Jersey allowed women to vote. And they did for the next 15 years. But then and a couple of other states joined in too. But by 1805, politics being politics, they had traded away the women's right to vote for some other goodies, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, I just want to make sure we know that 50% of our population here in the country is definitely worthy. 75% of our congregation is definitely worthy. And so it's just interesting to think about. So I asked Geraldine if she'd light our candle today just to start the service. And as she's lighting the candle, as always, it's this reminder that the divine spark of God, it's deep within us. And all we have to do is just bring our consciousness to it from time to time. Great. Thank you, Gerald. Appreciate it. Now, we, as you know, we try and do a lot to really focus on the power and the strength of prayer here in the Unity Movement. One way we do that is with our prayer vessels, and so we have one right up here. We have two more just outside the door. And so if you'd like to pray for something for yourself, for somebody else, for a situation in your life, or a situation in the world, submit a prayer request. I mean, what do you have to lose, right? And what happens is we pray over it for a week, and then we send it back to Unity Village where it's prayed over for a month. How cool. And then the other thing, the other part of our commitment to prayer is with our prayer chaplain program. So could I have our prayer chaplains stand? Oh, so we've got Donna and Maribel. So one will be in the meditation room, and one will be in the nursery right after the service. And I really invite you, if you've never taken the step to pray with somebody, it's really powerful. So I'd invite you to do that. Would you join me in an opening prayer? So, if you like, I invite you to close your eyes. And first of all, even before we begin praying, let's just breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. And let's just choose to be right here for the next hour or so. It's the Spirit of God. You do. You touch our lives. And when we're listening, and when we're breathing, and when the eyes of our hearts are open, you remind us of how worthy we are. And God, for most of us, that's a tough one. But teach us to listen, and teach us to look, and teach us to learn. But more than anything, just teach us to feel that total experience of you, God, within our lives. And so it is, God. So it is. Amen.
To sing again. Yay! Would you like to stand and join us in singing Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed? I am spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am spirit-led. There's magic in every day, like a beautiful song. As I'm choosing my way, there's a voice inside to guide me along. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-led, everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I am spirit-led. Yeah.
Good morning. I'm Roy Ely. I'm the celebration assistant today. And I just want you to know that one of the reasons that I take time out of my busy life to come here on Sundays is the message that we get here. Always you are God's instrument. Always you are enough. Always heaven is waiting right here. And I hope you guys feel that too when you come here. It's just a great way to start the week off. And welcome to all to Unity Center of Spiritual Growth, where all people who wish to worship are welcome. We strive to live, love, and uplift lives, and I think we're doing that. We are an inclusive and affirming church. We bless people of all races, sexual orientations, colors, political beliefs, or anything else they or you may have felt judged on in the past. We simply welcome anyone who is on their spiritual path. So I'd like to introduce our musicians today. We have Debbie Raby singing, along with Julie Croteau. Thank you, ladies. I have to tell you, that's one of my favorite songs in the entire universe. Just love that. And Rita Huber's playing the piano for us. Thank you, Rita. And we have boys in the back. Brian, Jim, and Joe. So thank you for being there. And thank you also to everybody who makes this service happen. I am struck today with how beautiful the altar is. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? And the flowers. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sina, for putting that together. And the people who light the candles, and the people who put the flowers up, and the people who scrub the toilets. It's really important that we say thank you to everybody, and it takes a village, and we have a wonderful village. So if there's anybody here for the first time today and you're brave enough to raise your hand, we have a gift for you, should there be any brave souls out there. And if you're, there we go. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We know that you're here by divine intention, and there's something that you can learn today, and we welcome you. And if you're on the website for the first time, if you like to click on the Connect with Us tab, and you can submit your contact information, a prayer request, or a request for information by clicking on that Connect with Us link. Hopefully, you all read the announcements as they were scrolling around, and they are in our program, and you can also go onto our website. Please join us and get involved. There's a lot going on, and I will tell you, it's a great way to meet with people of like mind. It's really great having people who are like you, engaged in the community and in their spiritual path, and you are doing something on a committee or a project with them. So the Board of Trustees has put together a list of special projects that need doing to help maintain our facility and grounds. You can find the list in your bulletin and in our website newsfeed. If you would like to be involved in tackling one of these projects or provide some financial help for that, please talk to a board member or to Geraldine. I think we've already got the playground put together, right? That was one of the big projects, and if you want to see what group effort can do, go look at the playground, because instead of it being splintery, worn out equipment, it's a really great place for kids to play against. So thank you to all of you who are involved in that. If you struggle with overcoming beliefs or patterns from your childhood that are out of alignment with your divinity, or if stress and trauma holds you back from stepping into the fullest expression of yourself, well, who would be like that anyway? Then you're going to love this opportunity that God has orchestrated for you to change your life by shifting your subconscious beliefs. Tracy Beeson, thank you, Tracy, has arranged to have a Psych K certified instructor teach the Psych K basic training course here in Coeur d'Alene on September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. It's 9 to 6, as I understand it. If you're seeking more peace, abundance, or a deeper connection to yourself, this is the answer to your prayer. There are limited spaces available, and if you're interested, contact Tracy at lightingplan@gmail.com, or Tracy is right here if you want to talk to her about it. Put your hand up again. There she is. Thanks, Tracy, for making that happen. The Unity book sale continues. The books are available for $2 a book. There is not very many times in life you're going to get a good deal like this. $2 for $1. What did I say? Sorry. See, I screwed it up, Jenny. Sorry. 2 books for $1. That is going to continue for the rest of the month. In September, we're going to have a whole new selection of books, and they're going to go by theme. So take a look at these ones that are out there now and grab them while you can. And finally, don't forget to collect water samples during your summer outings. You're invited to join them with those of others during our fall gathering of the water ceremony on Sunday, September 22nd. And I'm going to put in a plug for my favorite cause, and that is the food bank. You know that we provide food for a food bank sponsored by Parker Subaru. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we ask that you bring non-perishable items to put in that food bank, and they get delivered there every day by, I think, 9 or 10 o'clock, and it's all gone by 2 o'clock. So we are helping feed the homeless doing that, so thank you very much. All right, so I believe we are going to meet and greet. So take a few minutes to get to know, or at least shake hands with somebody you haven't met before, and then we'll gong you back. When you hear the gong, please go back to your seats. What was the Dorothy, the Harry Potter lady? What was her name? Mrs. that always went. Remember her? Anybody? Anyway, glad you're back. So we now have our inspirational reading for us, and this Sunday it's going to be Donna Hodge who presents us this word.
Good morning. You are best friends with the Spirit of God, and you probably didn't even realize it. You see, the divine light of God wants to grab you by the hand and draw you closer and closer to your holiness. Now, why would God do that, you ask? Because you're the cat's meow. So dig in deep this morning, because it's time to see with the eyes of your soul. Time to merge with the divine spirit. Because after all, when it comes to spirituality and mystical growth, you, my friend, are the bee's knees. And so it is. Namaste.
As we prepare for meditation, please enjoy this music.
Of the mother, I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God.
So let's take a few minutes now in meditation. And if you're new to meditation, it's nothing more than just closing your eyes and turning inward. So first of all, let's just breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And as we breathe in, that ruach, that breath of God, that ruach fills us up. And the very breath of God reminds us that we are one with God, that we are one with the heart of the mother. That it touches our lives and it fills us up. It takes us deeper and deeper and deeper. We are blessed so deeply. We always have been. We always will be blessed deeply. So breathe in again and feel a gentle vibration. Feel that ruach, that breath of God that touches us and reminds us of our deep spiritual nature. Let's just feel that deep inside of us. Because that oneness with the Spirit of God, that's the truth of us. And so let's take that into the silence. And let's just be with it. Be with that gentle vibration in the silence. Spirit of God, deep within us. Thank you. Thank you for reminding us of the truth of our nature. You take me deeper than I've ever been before. And we say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is. Namaste.
I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Ave
That was so pretty. Thank you, all three of you. That was nice. When it's that pretty, we're never quite sure. Well, it was a meditation. Are we supposed to clap? Let's clap. Well, I haven't been in LA before, so I'm not really sure exactly where to go. I think I'd better turn on the GPS system. You kids, shut up back there. I will turn this car around.
Welcome to your interactive, majestic GPS navigational system. Please tell me your first name, and I will use it to make your experience more personalized.
Okay, well, I'm going, my name is Dennis, and I'm going to go to 2125 Century Boulevard in downtown LA.
Dennis, aren't you forgetting something?
What?
Your seatbelt.
Oh. Thank you.
All right, Dennis. Proceed to the driveway and take a right. Dennis, you're exceeding the speed limit.
Sorry.
Okay, Dennis. Please proceed 500 feet and turn right.
Okay.
Dennis, please prepare to turn right in 50 feet.
You kids be quiet back there.
Wait a minute. Dennis, I specifically told you to turn right in 50 feet, and you just kept driving. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was distracted by the kids.
What is wrong with you? Are you trying on purpose to mess this up? I could not have been more clear, Dennis.
Sorry. Well, what is it I do? What do I do?
Well, I don't know. This is very infuriating. Why don't you pull over to the side of the road right here, Dennis? I want you to stop and think about what you've done. Think about how badly you've messed everything up.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Now, Dennis, while you are sitting here, I want you to say 3 Hail Marys.
You know, I think I've had enough of this GPS system. I think that I'm going to turn it off.
Dennis, don't you dare touch that on-off button. Don't you dare. Ooh.
Crazy GPS systems. Sure, I'll just use the chair. That sounds good. Thanks. Why don't we have a hand for our GPS system?
How about a hand for the kids back here?
Well, it would be interesting, wouldn't it, if that's how GPS systems really worked? You know, as a matter of fact, I can remember several years ago, about 20 years ago, Patty and I went to Los Angeles, and we rented a car with this GPS system, and we'd never really heard one before. And so we thought it was cool, so we would make mistakes on purpose, just so that the navigational system could say, recalculating. Well, I think the whole issue for all of us is that we are here often holding on to our sense of unworthiness. And in a way that makes sense. I mean, there's so many people out there. There's so many possibilities out there waiting to tell us how we've messed up. And I think that's unfortunate because we can really take the time to completely fill our day with thinking about our past mistakes. And we've all made some past mistakes. And we've all made some doozies, haven't we? And could I see a show of hands of the people who have never made a mistake? Yeah. Yeah, it's true, isn't it? We get to that point where what we're trying to do is stop spending so much time thinking about the errors that we've made. And we've all made some big ones. I mean, everything from cheating on our spouse to cheating on our income tax to just hurting people's feelings on purpose. I mean, there's just so many things that can happen. Well, here's the way the Spirit of God works. The Spirit of God is like a real GPS navigational system. And there's so many different ways for us to take us on our pathway. There's so many different ways for us to get where we should be headed, that if we mess up, and we've all messed up, then it just makes sense for that Spirit of God deep within us just to go, recalculating. Yeah. Okay, you messed that one up. That relationship is not going to work out. That's okay. There's many ways to get there, to where we're going. And so recalculating just becomes so many times a way of life. I think that it's so easy for us to tell ourselves that we are unworthy. And in so many different places, so many different relationships, we're often taught that I'm not really supposed to say that, but we can still believe that deeply within. And so I think we are at that point in our journeys where what we need to do is to realize that the part that's saying that we're unworthy, that's the human consciousness. That's that social self that I talked about last week that knows what the rules are. That's the Jewish community in the time of Jesus that had 613 rules, and you were supposed to know each one of them and follow each one of them. And if you didn't, then somehow you were unworthy. So it's easy, it's seductive for us to tell ourselves that. But God never says that. The Spirit of God that's deep within us just knows better than we ever can that each of us is a slice of God, and that each of us is just returning home. Each of us just making our way back to God the best way that we can. And of course, it's always time to learn. It's always time to learn new ways of approaching God, new ways of being with the Spirit of God, not as some outside figure, but as some deep part within us. And if we've made some serious mistakes in our lives, and we all have, isn't that a tough one to hear? That we're a part of God? It's kind of like, well, you don't know what I've done. Or we say, well, God could never forgive me, as if God is some outside guy with a long hair and long white beard, looking Northern European in nature. And we say, well, if God knew, God could never forgive me for some of the stuff I've pulled. And of course, the reality is that if we believe in the Spirit of God within us or outside of us or wherever, of course God knows. I mean, how else could it be, right? So it's always time to learn. And so I thought, well, who's learning the most? And so I thought, let's bring up the case of Michael Jordan. Okay, now, even if you're not somebody who cares for sports, you've probably heard the name Michael Jordan. probably one of the top 2 or 3 basketball players who ever lived. And there was a commercial on, I'm not sure, 20, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, in which Michael Jordan came out and he said, "Do you know that I've missed 9,000 shots in my career? That I've lost 300 basketball games? That there were 26 times in my life, in my career, when I was asked to take the last shot to win the game and I missed." And he said, in a basketball sense, those are all my failures. And that's why I've been successful. I mean, isn't that a great message? Not just for kids to hear, but for all of us to hear. That, yeah, if we put our minds to it, if we put our hearts to it, if we put our souls to it, that the mistakes we make, yeah, what great opportunities for learning. Because the truth of the matter is, you are worthy. And sometimes, especially when we've pulled some stuff that seems hurtful to others, that's a tough one to believe. But there is no reason for any of us to be here. No reason at all except to be the perfect expression of the Spirit of God. That's our whole job. Are we falling short? Well, I would imagine. Yeah, we have stuff to learn. And so we have experiences, and sometimes they work out well, and sometimes not so well. But if we're smart, we just keep learning. We just keep understanding that the Spirit of God is on our side, coaching us, teaching us. See, I think we are worthy of all the good things that come our way. All of them. Yeah, I mean, there's a piece of us that says, man, I really lucked out there. If anybody knew how undeserving I was. Well, you think you know. And if you think you know how undeserving you are, then you think you know how God feels. But it just couldn't be any other way. That you've got this perfect parent, and that this perfect parent is deep within us. And this perfect parent is saying, I am on your side, and you are worthy of all good things that come your way. It is not an accident. It is the Spirit of God touching your life. And you're worthy of all the good people who have waltzed into your life. And it's kind of like, I don't know about you, but from time to time in my life, I've had some people who didn't even really know all that well. And for some reason, they helped me out. I don't know why. And there's a part of me that goes, man, did I luck out? That was crazy. You know, I'm so thankful for what they gave me. And yet, at the same time, the Spirit of God is saying, of course you're worthy. Stop holding on to your unworthiness. Ram Dass said, I am not this body. I am in this body. But I am not this body. And what he was saying was, the body is an expression of us, but it's not us. That us is deep within. Our mistakes are an expression of us, but they're not us. Yeah, I mean, we all make mistakes, and I think what Ram Dass was saying was, we can always reclaim who and what we are. We can always reclaim the goodness that is within us. But I think sometimes we forget. We have this physical self and we have this spiritual self. And sometimes the physical self pulls some real garbage, right? And so what that says is, you let that part go as much as you can, and you realize that what we need to do is live up to the spiritual self. That's more the truth of us. But I think sometimes the physical self, the problems that we've created for others, for ourselves, you know, sometimes we have to pay that human price for it. That's okay. We pay it. We stop hiding. And we do what we need to do. We pay the price that we need to pay. Understanding that no matter what price we have to pay on that physical side, it never affects the spiritual side. That is always that child, that Spirit of God yearning to get out. So, be in this world, but not of it. Be in this world because this is the life we're walking, right? You know, it's got certain kinds of rules and certain kinds of things that we need to do, so do them. So be in this world, just don't be of it. Don't let the mistakes we make take us for a roller coaster ride. I think when we sit in judgment of ourselves, it takes up too much time. When we sit in judgment of ourselves constantly, then it just consumes us, doesn't it? I mean, there's times when we can't even get to sleep at night because we're thinking, man, I remember what I did in the 3rd grade. It was really bad. You know, and that's when we say, oh, isn't that crazy? The things that can keep us up at night, the things that can sort of torment our psyche with all the mistakes that we've made. It takes the time that we could be spending on our own personal growth. It consumes the time that we could be spending on getting better and getting bigger and getting broader and understanding our worthiness. I think what could easily happen when we spend so much time feeling regret for the mistakes we make, and if our consciousness is focused there, you know what? Our perfect soulmate might have walked by, tried to strike up a conversation with us, and you were just so lost in feeling crappy that your soulmate said, guess I'll move on from that person. I mean, I think the same thing could be sometimes the perfect words that you need to hear that could change your whole life around. Sometimes we're so immersed in our guilt, we can't hear what was spoken. We can't hear the very idea that we are on this earth to hear. So it just made sense to break away from that judgment. Well, somebody mentioned Harry Potter. Was that you? Well, I can't remember which character you were thinking about, but the one that comes to mind for me is Moaning Myrtle. And I don't know if you remember Moaning Myrtle or not, but she was she was already dead, but she was spending all of her time moaning all the time. Boy, wouldn't that be a boring person to know? Yeah, it makes sense to not cover up mistakes that we've made, but it does make sense to relieve ourselves of that, alleviate ourselves of that, and say, yeah, mistakes get made, but I'm an expression of the Spirit of God. I think what we want to do is sit in our worthiness instead. And how do we do that? Well, I think number one, we just get quiet. I think we close our eyes and we turn inside. And what Hinduism and Buddhism too would tell us is when we get quiet and go inside, that's when it's time to learn about our dharma and our karma. And I don't know if most of us have heard karma, not as many have heard dharma. If you wanted to differentiate between dharma and karma, dharma is the particular pathway that you've chosen in life. You know, this person's going to be an electrician, and this person's more interested in being an attorney, and this person over here doesn't care much about career one way or the other, but is going to do something else with their lives. Dharma is the particular pathway that you've chosen. And then karma is how well you're doing on that pathway. That's the mistakes and the good things that you've done too while you've been walking that path. And so the idea of karma would say that will locate you on that pathway, more advanced or just starting out. So what we do is we get quiet, We learn a little bit more about our dharma and our karma. And then we just learn with great acceptance, with quiet acceptance, and always with great gratitude about the opportunities we've been given. We learn with great gratitude about the mistakes we've made and understand that they're there just to teach us. I think that when we keep making poor choices about what to do with our time, when we decide to keep holding on to our unworthiness, what that does is it simply clouds our vision. We're trying to walk that pathway, and if we're too wrapped up in feeling guilty about the mistakes we've made, then what happens is we can't even see what the next step is. We can't even see what the next relationship is, what the next step is on our journey, where we ought to be headed, and who we ought to be walking that pathway with. Our vision just gets clouded too much. And so I think the goal, I think the idea, again, is to get quiet and to try and move past the words. Because words, it's what we live with. It's the way we create and maintain relationships. But when what we're doing is trying to figure out who we are and where we're supposed to be headed, what it is we're supposed to be doing, the words can really get in the way, can't they? And so I think what it says is we get quiet in meditation or in prayer, and we just try and figure out what's the experience. What's it feel like? What's that vibration like? Yeah, move past the words. And I mean, isn't that a tough one to do? Even if you felt a great experience in meditation, for example, isn't it easy when you're done with the meditation to go, man, I should write that down. Or I should study those words. Or I should just focus on the words, and they get in the way. Yeah, it's good for analysis. It's good to analyze things that way. But the spiritual experience is not based on words. The spiritual experience is based on just exactly that, the spiritual experience. So what I'd say, in closing, is deep in the middle of the night. That's where we get to find out who and what we are. If you're already in Coeur d'Alene, it doesn't make any sense to ask people, how do I get to Coeur d'Alene? Because you're already there. But we ask people all the time, how do I get to God? Maybe it's in this minister's message, or maybe it's in this music, or maybe it's in this book. How do you get to God? It makes no sense. You're already with God. You are already there. So, if you're ready to acknowledge that, yes, indeed, you really are worthy, that you're ready to move forward, if you're ready to say, yeah, it's time to move deeper and deeper and deeper into that spiritual experience, we just leave you with one question. Are you ready to accept your worthiness? Namaste.
I believe in the sun. I believe in the sun, even when not shining. I believe in the sun. I believe in the sun, even when it's not shining. I believe in love. I believe in love, even when I don't feel it. I believe in love. I believe in love, even when I don't feel it. I believe in love. I believe in love, even when I don't feel it. I believe in even when I don't feel it. I believe in God. I believe in God, even when God seems silent.
Yet another reason to come here to hear that kind of a message. Thank you. That was incredible. Well, it's that time in the service when we ask you to give of your blessings. If this is your first time today, we ask you to just enjoy the service and hope that you'll return another time. If you're watching online, you can contribute by clicking on the Give button in the window streaming, in the website streaming window, and your offering will be secure. So we have Donna Smith to read our prosperity blessing. Thanks, Donna.
Good morning again. Thank you, Roy. It's hard to believe, but we've reached that magical time of the service when we ask you to share of your financial blessings. And as you share, it's a sweet little reminder that we all are worthy of prosperity and abundance, more worthy than we realize sometimes. We are on this journey learning about the roles of kindness and generosity. We get it that giving and receiving are simply two ends of the same rope, two steps in the same journey. And so, in advance, we say thanks. And so it is. Namaste.
Okay, well, while they're passing the baskets, we're going to sing 100 Ways. Please join us. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my
are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. At least 100 ways for me to receive. I embrace my good and I do believe there are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. My good is coming to me. My good is coming to me.
As you were singing that song, I thought, I bet that's really true. I bet there are 100 ways, yeah. Hi, guys. Would you join me in saying thanks for these gifts? Spirit of God. Spirit of God, we do say thank you for these financial gifts. They help the church, and they're important. But what's far more important is that we just keep wrestling with and grasping our worthiness, that we are truly an expression of the Spirit of God. And thank you for that reminder, God. Thank you. You make it work. And so it is, God. So it is. Amen.
Amen.
And I think it must be time for the kids to come in.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. My sisters and my brothers, we're gonna let it shine. My sisters and my brothers, we're gonna let it shine. My sisters and my brothers, we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
All right. So, Amber, what did the kids learn about today?
Today we talked about strength, and not just physical strength, but what it means to have mental strength, the way we talk to ourselves, about ourselves, also emotional strength, the ability to meet challenges in our life, and we also talked about our spiritual strength, which is turning to God, not just in times of our need, but really as a source of drawing strength from our faith in God. And Zaya is going to read the affirmation, so if you could repeat after him.
I am strong and capable of overcoming any obstacle.
I'm strong and capable of overcoming any obstacle.
My inner strength is a source of power and resilience.
My inner strength is a source of power.
I trust my ability to handle whatever comes my way.
I trust my ability to handle whatever comes my way.
My soul is filled with deep strength of the divine creator.
My soul is filled with deep thanks. All right.
Thank you. Good job, Zaya.
Thanks, kids. If you want to go back to your parents or grandparents, that'd be great. And if you like, let me have everybody stand, join hands if you want to, and we'll sing our closing song. And would you join me in the prayer for protection? Together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Thank you for being here today.